At the very edge of our solar system, where sunlight barely touches the frozen clouds and gravity seems to forget its own laws, one planet quietly defied all expectations: Neptune. For over a century, it remained a distant guardian, a cold gas giant shrouded in mystery, known only through mathematics, fleeting flybys of probes, and the rare whispers of telescopes. But now, the James Webb Space Telescope, the most powerful eye that humanity has ever turned toward the stars, has delivered a revelation so disturbing that even the most experienced scientists were stunned. This was not just an update, not just an improvement in clarity. It was a warning, a cosmic red flag. What we thought we knew about Neptune turned out to be wildly and dangerously wrong. Neil deGrasse Tyson, in a packed hall under the glare of a global broadcast, delivered the revelation with the gravity that only a scientist confronted with the unknown can muster. Neptune's internal structure, its magnetic field, and even the laws governing its orbit no longer fit into Newton's predictions. Something is wrong, and it's not just strange, it's scary. Because if Neptune, a planet we thought we understood, holds a secret so radical that it rewrites planetary science, what else is hidden beneath the veil of our assumptions? For years, astronomers tracked Neptune's orbit with robotic precision. Everything matched, until it didn't. New data from Webb, combined with ground-based interferometric arrays, revealed anomalies. Neptune's trajectory began to show subtle deviations from Newton's laws. Its path through space, once predictable, now hinted at some invisible, deeper influence. At first, they blamed the instruments, then the software. But the truth turned out to be far more sinister. Neptune was moving as if obeying an invisible force, or worse, hiding it within itself. And that was only the beginning. When Neil deGrasse Tyson took the stage to explain Webb's discovery, the room fell silent, not out of awe, but out of alarm. Beneath Neptune's familiar blue funnel lies an internal structure unlike any planet we have ever studied. Layers that defy the laws of density and pressure. Thermal zones that generate heat without solar input. In short, Neptune behaves like a machine with a broken blueprint, or a mechanism operating according to physics we have not yet discovered. Neptune's magnetic field has always been strange, tilted, skewed, and misaligned with its core. But now it is changing, not on a geological timescale, but on a human one. Sections of the field seem to fragment and reassemble in dynamic cycles. Webb and other observatories have recorded pulses. Magnetic waves flare and fade with rhythms eerily similar to biological ones. These are not just field disturbances. This is behavior. They evolve. They pulsate. They react. Some scientists have quietly suggested that Neptune's magnetic field may not be generated by a conventional metallic or conductive liquid core. The data points to exotic superionic ice, a state of matter where water behaves as both a solid and a liquid, conducting electricity like molten metal but remaining crystalline in structure. Under Neptune's crushing pressure, these materials can flow in chaotic streams, creating internal storms, turbulence, and a magnetic map that redraws itself in real time. But even this theory does not explain why the field reacts to solar events before they occur. Unless Neptune is not just reacting, it is predicting. And then everything became completely inexplicable. Neptune is cold. It has to be cold. It is 30 times farther from the Sun than Earth. But Webb's thermal image revealed something impossible. Deep in the atmosphere, beneath clouds of methane and ammonia, are warm spots, localized, persistent, and growing. There are no large moons causing tidal heating, no solar radiation penetrating so deeply, no known geological activity. And yet, Neptune burns from within. Some theorists now believe that Neptune is experiencing internal thermal pulses, wandering waves of energy that may be triggering its hurricane-like storms. But what causes them remains a mystery. One hypothesis, barely whispered among astrophysicists, is that these pulses are the result of phase transitions of superionic material when matter changes from one state to another, releasing bursts of energy. If this is true, Neptune does not simply obey physics. It creates it. The planet is not in equilibrium, but in controlled chaos. And then data came in that made the world freeze. From the heart of Neptune, hidden in radio emissions, scientists detected an irregular signal. It was not noise or atmospheric interference. It was a low-frequency pulse with spectral characteristics, unlike anything observed in natural planetary systems. It repeated itself, it oscillated, and then it disappeared. But at least 3 independent observatories managed to record it. The scientific community was divided. Was this the product of an exotic magnetic field? The resonance of some strange internal chemistry? Or something more, intentional? Some even suggested that Neptune's structure, if it really does contain stratified caverns or pockets that bend pressure, could function as a resonator, a natural amplifier, or worse, a transmitter. The idea that Neptune could be emitting a signal not as a side effect of physics, but as part of its architecture, shattered familiar models. Because a planet that resonates in this way, intentionally or not, may be more than a planet. It may be a mechanism. And then there's the great dark spot, a storm the size of Earth. But now, as Webb's data has shown, the storm is not just persisting, it is becoming smarter. It adapts. It changes direction in response to the solar wind days before it arrives. Its temperature fluctuates harmoniously, and its outer bands exchange mass with clouds at a frequency similar to breathing. The model even showed that the storm's core momentarily aligns with the changing magnetic field, as if it were coordinated, as if it were no longer weather, but behavior. If Earth's hurricanes behaved this way, meteorologists would consider them intelligent. And then shocking geometric patterns appeared. At first, they were dismissed as data artifacts, but comparison showed that the distribution of heat pulses, the rotation time of magnetic anomalies, and the orbits of the inner rings align in a quasi-torus symmetry, a structure characteristic of engineering systems, particle accelerators, energy confinement fields, and even engine theories. The problem? Neptune is not supposed to be a machine, but the data suggests otherwise. This raised an alarming question. Was Neptune created by nature or something else? Amidst the chaos of magnetic storms and thermal anomalies, Webb noticed a fluctuation in Neptune's ring system. A faint object or shadow moved against the backdrop of starlight. In the infrared range, it appeared too symmetrical, too smooth, and motionless. Nothing in the rings should remain motionless, but it did. Then it disappeared. It didn't fly away. It vanished. Speculation ran wild. A disguised satellite? An ancient probe? Part of Neptune itself? A sensor? One thing became clear. Neptune was not alone. And then came the final observation. Using gravitational lensing models, scientists measured the curvature of light not only from Neptune, but also from outside, above the equator. This was not related to mass. Something was warping space-time locally. The object or force interacted with gravity in a way that resembled a microscopic event horizon, a miniature black hole or gravitational engine. If Neptune is hiding something capable of distorting space like this, it is no longer just a gas giant. It is a cosmic mystery. Maybe it was put there. Maybe it formed naturally but was altered. Either way, we weren't supposed to find it. Neptune has always been considered a quiet, frozen, distant outpost. But Webb has lifted the veil. And what he has revealed is not just frightening. It changes everything. Because if Neptune is more than a planet, if it is a vessel, a mechanism, or a monument to physics that we have not yet earned, then the solar system is a map, a sequence, a set of instructions written in orbits, gravity, and temperature. And now that we've read one of the last lines, we're starting to understand the message. But that message may not be welcome. Because what if Neptune wasn't hiding a secret? What if Neptune is the secret? And what we've just seen is the key that turns it. If this discovery has made you question everything we thought we knew about our solar system, you're not alone. Because what Webb has found in Neptune's storms is just the beginning. Subscribe to get real-time updates about the telescope that is rewriting science. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next pulse, flash, or whisper from the abyss. Share this with anyone who still thinks Neptune is just another planet. And let us know in the comments. Do you think Neptune was designed, or did it evolve into what it is today?